that calmness at the same time while you're in that, while you're activating and fearlessly driving your life, rather than your mind running your life, you run your life. So the exercises that we've done, and look, I would love Amber and Tim, and I've just hijacked your whole call, sorry. I'll start with Amber, because you hear a lot from Tim, but I'll go to Tim in a second. Amber, practicing this skill, I know Shazad, the trainer, he said that over the 6 to 8 period, they've tested on an MRI the grey matter in the brain, where the left side where the limbic is and the right side where the sage is. They can see a difference in the MRI. It's a muscle. Go to the gym. It's mental fitness. So Amber, by practicing these, by knowing your saboteurs, knowing the judges, who's the universal controller, and then practicing the exercises that we do every single day. Can you share with everyone what that's done for you?
Sure. So I started this program when Rach and Tim did, and I honestly had no idea what it was before I said, sure, I'll do it. Why not? And I got started with it, and it has helped me really identify those things where I felt stuck. And I don't know if you guys know this, I've been in network marketing for 11 years. And most of that time I felt there's something in my way. There's some barrier. I can't get unstuck. I'm spinning my wheels. And this program has helped me break through that, identify the things that I'm telling myself, stop myself in the middle of saying the bad things, and change it to the sage way of thinking. And in that, I was able to go back to a level in the aura that I haven't been at in over a year, because I was just changing my way of thinking, getting into action, and just being more positive about stuff.
Amazing. Having an awareness, but the coolest part is, and this is a part of the building this muscle, is having the self-command, is to be able to intercept these saboteurs, which Amber just described. She had an awareness. So with that awareness, she could intercept it and go, ha, Judy, no, you're not going to be telling the story here. I am. Because she's in control of her life, not her mind. And so, with that, you get a result, because you're not letting this take over and drive you to all these crazy places of self-doubt, of not enough, of the fear of everybody saying, I told you it's not going to work, whatever it is, it's all bull. It's all bull that is telling you, that's talking in your brain. Tim, do you want to share with everybody what's happened for you?
Yeah, just to be honest, I was hesitant to do it because I'm like, God, it's going to be inconvenient, blah blah blah. Like, look, that's the norm. It's not like, oh, personal development. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm busy. I got to get stuff done. Like, I got to do. Like, I'm constantly thinking about me and what I got to do and what I got to get done and who's going to do it with me and how they're going to do it and what I got to. And I'm constantly there. And when I'm doing that, I continue to just build myself up of the judge. I'm judging myself. I'm judging you. I'm judging the circumstance. There is no flow. And when I did the assessment, I was hesitant. I was like, I don't want to do this. And I did the assessment and it came out like pleaser, hyperachiever, and avoider. And I was like, okay, people pleaser. What does that mean? So, and I read it and I was like, whoa. It's like they crawled into my head and like said, oh yeah, this is it, boop, 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 and then wrote out a piece of paper of like what they saw in my head. And in the pleaser, it's like I do so much for other people because I enjoy doing it and I feel busy and I feel like I'm helping, and yet then I neglect what I need to do for myself. And then when I don't get done what I need to get done, I resent everyone else around me, and the judge starts kicking in because I didn't know how to be. I wasn't aware of that. because my perception was the way I thought it was. And I just need to, I guess, do more. That's what I thought. I just need to do more.
Mm.
And like Puya has always said, you know, if I'm going to go to California and I grab my GPS and I put in California, my phone's not going to tell me how to get to California until it knows where I am. And so this whole thing has allowed me to say, okay, who am I? How do I operate in this world? And when I'm aware of that, then they give us these things to do and to pause during the day. I mean, I meditate, and he talks even about, like, even if you're a meditator, this stuff can work, and here's how, because I was like, oh, I already meditate, right? I'm already part of something that does, right? And so constantly judging. And then now I'm catching myself constantly judging, and the negative part of like, oh, because this or that, or right. Even when I feel like I'm being kind, I'm still judging. It's crazy. So being aware of it, like Rachel said, is one thing. But then practicing things that I don't think will work because I'm judging them. And in a fellowship I'm in, they say contempt prior to investigation is the killer of everything. And so I find that I have contempt prior to doing something because I already know what it's going to be like and the time it's going to take and what it's going to be like. So no, thank you. And I don't do it. So now I'm trying to do things. And now I'm getting a result that I wouldn't have had I not done it, which is another, you know, you would think of all the books that I've read and all the things that I've done, I would know that. But as Jeff Olson constantly says, the plan, do, review. I have a plan, I do the plan, I review the plan. And when I go back and make another plan and do the plan, I am not the same person. So reading The Slight Edge, it's the same book, same words, but Rachel's not the same person she was when she read it the first time. So different things are going to pop out. That's personal development. Constantly working on the way I perceive things, how I am with others. Because as Jeff says, The Slight Edge, if just doing the thing was what this is all about, then here's the stuff, go do it. Right? If just give me the information is what it's about, then everything you'd ever need to know about how to live a happy, healthy life is on the internet. So why isn't everybody living a happy, healthy life? Because it's not the information, it's how we process the information. And this judge and the saboteurs and all that is just another way to be aware of how I'm operating and how I can become better. Because me saying, oh, I've read that book, or I've gone to that seminar, or I've already been on that call, is like me saying, oh, I brushed my teeth yesterday. You know, you don't stop eating, and the negative stuff in the world doesn't stop coming at you. I have to constantly brush my teeth with personal development. If I don't, tartar builds up, my teeth start hurting, and then next thing you know, I'm like, ah. And, you know, someone's over there with white teeth going, hey. And that's personal development. So anyway, I know I just hijacked this. I know Rachel wanted to share some stuff. And before she does, real quickly, I want to just ask Tamara, because I asked her to do this, if you could unmute yourself and just share. I'm going to give her some shout outs. And by the way, if anyone's got a new brand partner, new customer, raise your hand this month. That's what I'm talking about. Cheryl, how many customers or brand partners you got? One customer? That's what I'm talking about. So you are a fourth of the way to 2 and 2 to get the coupons. Awesome. And more trip volume. That's fantastic. Tamara, how many customers or brand partners do you have this month so far? New ones.
4 new customers, and I'm working on a brand partner.
Slow down.
And so I just had a party over the weekend, and I did this post that said, you know, I had these 5 coupons to give away, these $10 coupons. And then it wasn't until after I did all that, I realized, okay, that actually I need 2 brand partners and 2 customers to get those coupons, but I'd already given them out. So now I'm like, oh shit. Well, that means I just believe I'm going to get 2 brand partners, and I don't work like that. So that's how I'm trying to work right now. Like, well, I already told them I won the coupons, so it's either $50 out of my pocket or I get 2 brand partners.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I'm going to try. I don't know.
And there's already one woman that said, hey, I'll throw a party, but I don't want to do the business. It's so funny. I'll do the business the way you do the business, but I don't want to do the business. It's so, you know, and even then the judge kicked in with Tamara, and I had to kind of be like, well, let's reframe this, because it's all about reframing it, right? I need stuff reframed. Rachel needs stuff reframed. Amber needs stuff reframed all the time. And that's why personal development is the most important. So great job, Tamara. I have 2 preferred customers this month. So I just need 2 more brand partners. So great job, everybody. And Tamara, you had 15 preferred customers your first month of business, which is phenomenal. You had 2 incredible parties in a Zoom. And here's what I think I'm most proud of, is that you had customers that said, they told you, I'm only going to order one time, or I only want to order this, or they ordered something and you knew that they probably wouldn't order a second time. So you reached out to them and followed up like they've trained us on URU and in the regional. And what did you say to 1 or 2 of them?
So I used their ADO date coming up as a reason to contact them again. So you've got this coming up. I just wanted you to be aware in case you wanted to change something or can't, like, I just wanted to provide customer service and have them not get this surprise order that they forgot about and then be pissed that their credit card was charged and they got more product when they didn't need it. So everyone that I reached out to that had an ADO coming up was so thankful, because every single one of them had completely forgotten about it. So they were really happy about that. And then a couple of them, you know, I said, you know, you've got the 10% off if you get something else this month. And a couple of people were like, no, I don't need anything else. It's too soon. I tried to offer, you know, try a different product just to keep it so you don't lose it. Like they talked about that this evening. You know, it works for some people. It doesn't work for everyone. I only have 1 reorder right now for the second month, but I got that reorder because she wanted the night cream, and I had sent her some chews to sample, and then we had the promotion. I go, oh, well, we have this night cream is coming with the chews now. So she got that promotion. So, I mean, it's the beginning of the month. I'm going to keep trying. I only reached out, only 5 people had their ADOs coming up. So now I'm going to do the next batch that are coming up in like a week. I'm going to start texting them or getting in touch with them tomorrow.
And I think
your ADO is coming up. Do you want to try something else? Maybe just get something, you know, you were curious about, just to keep your 10%, but no pressure. And I keep telling them it's so easy to cancel. If you want to cancel, cancel. It's completely fine. I'll touch base with you next month.
And I think another thing is that a beautiful part about the training that's happening is that they understand that just telling us to reach out and ask them is one thing, but then sharing with us verbiage that has worked for so many people to get them to say, okay, yeah, I'll reorder. That's not aggressive. It's just kind of like, hey, I think that Sam Wyatt talked about, you know, you've earned the 10%, it expires, like that type of language is fantastic. And so now you get to, you know, you did it one way, you only got 1 reorder out of 5 people you reached out to. Now you got a second crew of people that you can try a different way, right? So great job. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Now, I'm going to have to jump off. I'll keep this on, but I got to jump off at 7. But Rachel, I know, wanted to train on some stuff.
Okay, thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
All right, crew. Have everyone got a piece of paper?
Yeah.
We're going to draw a map. So the map that we want to draw is how, you know, what we really want to do over the next 30 days. But there's a bit of like work that I want to do prior to that, because you want to know what it is that you're actually working towards for the next 30 days. Because we want to have a clear goal. So I've been working through my team, and we've been doing, we're calling it reverse engineering. So you know what your next goal is. You know, you can see in your back office, it might be director, it might be team director, it might be regional marketing director. Whatever your next goal is, you want to understand what those numbers are, but you want to also see it from a perspective of what I'm going to do over in the next 30 days. So if you're going for director, or your volume and your business around director, we don't want to put national marketing director in there. You know, that's a future pathway where I only want to just do one block at a time. It doesn't mean you can't double, triple rank advance, but just, you know, one realistic chunk at a time. So say, for instance, right now, your volume is around 1,000 GQV a month. And you want to get to director, which is 3,500 in the month. So your business is sitting around 1,000. That's what it was last month. We want to then go and look at, you know, what it is that got you to 1,000. And that's what we want to retain. So that's that retention that we're talking about. I loved Sam's verbiage today. I loved if somebody's bought in one vehicle, give them a sample in another vertical. If someone's in one vertical, give them a sample for the other vertical. Thanks so much for ordering last month. I really appreciate you. I've got a sample on the way for you. I hope you love it. You know, like you get all that done now at the beginning of the month, then you've got the rest of the month to follow up on that sample. So, okay, so what is it that you did to get to that volume last month? That's what we have to retain. That's a stable business. Then to get to 3,500, which is the rank of director, we know that you need to have 3 brand partners, and you also need, on top of that 1,000, you need another 2,500 in volume. So my goal now becomes, if you don't have any brand partners yet, my goal now becomes to have a growth in my business of 2,500, and to also have to go out and enroll 3 brand partners. Does everybody get where I'm at? Yeah. Okay. So now I've got a clear goal of what I've got to do in June. So then I go back and I look at all the activities that I did in May to get me to that first goal. So I might have had 4 real results parties. Online real results parties, and I might have given out X amount of samples. So if you want to if you want to double that number, how do I double the parties that I've had? And it's not just me, you're going to bring in, say for instance, you need to bring in a new brand partner. So how can I put my brand partner beacon on, and with those real results parties, do what we're doing as far as exposing people with the products, but I don't see many people really driving it from a business perspective. They're driving it from a product perspective, and it's great to drive it from a product perspective, but it's also really important to drive it from a business perspective as well. Whether or not that is people coming on and doing some testimonies, or talking about, our free product program. You could just be talking about the night cream and how our products are standalone, and slipping into that post about how so many people just want to get free night cream every month. And that's what they do. So it's how can you look at all the activities that you did in May that got you that volume to then amplify that, just double the parties, and you bring on a new brand partner, so they have one too. So that's a party. It's not just your parties, but it's the people in your team that you bring in's parties as well. So one of the things that we really started doing was uncovering what it is that our business sits at a stable number, to how we then reverse engineer it from the volume we want to get to what we need to do to grow that next growth of your business. The way our business works is that we bring in brand partners to also help us go out and get a bunch of customers. And with that, is where our business is growing and growing away from us, where we're continuing to build like little building blocks all through our business, where we end up having a really solid foundation of our own personal business building. And that is lots of brand partners with a bunch of customers each. And that's all it is. So if you grab your piece of paper and then what you're going to do is draw 2 lines down, keep it in landscape, 2 lines, so you've got 3 even columns. Then you're going to draw a line at the top so we can create a little header. And in the middle column, you're going to write the word result. And then in the far right column, you're going to write the word purpose. And then in the far left column, you're going to write massive action plan. So because everybody is at a different place in their business, I want you to go after this call and just crunch some numbers. Numbers don't tell lies. Numbers tell stories. So crunch the numbers, have a look at your May. So what I did, and if you've been here for a few months, go back to the last, maximum, say January. Go look at your January GQV, your February GQV, your March, April, May, and look at those numbers. So have a gauger. If Tamara and Cheryl, go look at the last 2 months, and just have a gauger of those last 2 months of see what the volume is, or 1 month, isn't it? 1 month. Anyway, whatever, however many months you've been hanging around. And so, have a look, because you'll see a pattern there, and you'll see consistency, and you'll see a pattern, and you'll probably know who all those customers are, who that regular brand partner is that purchases every month. You'll probably know. Excuse me. And then from there, I want you to see the pattern, because June, you have now a pattern of numbers, and now June, you can manipulate that number to the number that you want. But how are we going to do that? We're going to do that by understanding what we did to get to those other numbers, keep that business consistent, and then find that growth. I want you to then know what is the number that you're going to go for in June, and what is that gap? What is the gap between May and that number that you want on the 30th of June? And that gap is now going to be our focus point in this plan that we're about to do, because you want to have a growth of that number. So you're going to go and you're going to find out what that number is. So I'm going to give the example today as a director. And so that number is, so to be at a director, you need to have a volume of 3,500. And I'm going to sit at the point, if our business last month was 1,000 in volume. So now my business, in my map in the middle, in that very middle column, I'm going to write in June, my business growth of 2,500 to have 3,500 in GQV volume, with 2 new brand partners, 5 new customers, and I had 7, say, I'm making this up. So I had 7 new customers last month. So I'm going to have 7 new reorders as well, and find a way to get those reorders. Okay, so now I have a really clear goal of what it is that I'm after. It's so specific, and it's so clear. I'm going to draw a big circle around it. And you can see I've got a highlighter on mine. I've drawn a big green circle around it. Now, the reason I'm drawing a circle around it is because now it's like a bullseye. It is so in my face. I know what I'm doing. Like all the writing around the page is just the writing, but I can clearly see what it is that I'm doing. Anyone got any questions? No? Okay, now we're going to go to the right-hand side, which is the purpose. So I want you to number 1 to 10 going down the left-hand side of the purpose column. I want you to write a couple of, say 2 or 3 different items of why did you say yes? Why are you doing this? Why, when the person asked you to join, did you say yes? And actually, I just was, before this call, reading something that Grant Cardone said. I was writing it down. Success needs to be your ethical duty, and your focus needs to be geared towards success and not making money. Money alone will not motivate you unless you know what you want to do with it. What you want to do with it. What do you want to do with your money? Where do you want to see your future heading? How impactful are you in your community? So these are good things to think about, you know, where you're writing, you know, why is it that I joined? What are some of those reasons? Does anyone want to share a couple?
I have some.
Awesome.
My husband is going to retire it's a year from July. And I want to have a job. I want to have, wherever we go, we can do this. And I want to help people, whatever we're doing, wherever we are in the country. I put personal growth and gain confidence, because this is a big part of this. And as he retires, we'll be traveling. That's my first 7. I haven't finished the list.
Okay, that's cool. So, you know, and what I would be doing is pairing up with, say, Tammy, Cheryl, and actually diving into that. Where are you traveling? What are you going to be traveling in? How are you going to travel? What sort of budget do you want to have every single month in this journey that you're on? How many real results parties do you want to have while you're traveling? You know, I have a girl that I work with as an accountability partner for the trip, and she's in a motorhome. Her and her husband are cruising around Australia in a MV. That's what it's called, RV, and she has real results parties at campsites. It's hilarious. She loves it. She did one just not so long ago in the middle of COVID, and we had a limit of 10 people at one gig. She got 10 orders. You know, like, she loves it. She loves it because she gets to communicate and hang out with people. And exactly what you said, make people better. What is it that you love about making people better? What is it that you need to have more confidence? You know, all these things, like you want, and then, you know, get into some of Tammy's lists, and really work that list and really make those pieces come to life. Make them come to so much life that you can feel them, breathe them, and actually sit and experience exactly what it is that you're going to feel when you're there. So that's what I would do. I would absolutely be buddying up together as a group to you know, to do that. So one more thing that I want you to put on that list is at the middle of next month, when you know, we look back into June, or, you know, the beginning of July, when July starts, I want you to put something on that list that is that you are going to celebrate yourself for turning up, for being consistent. Doesn't matter about getting the goal. The goal is just set. Like we always say, set the GPS. That GPS, we're striving for that for this month. You mightn't quite hit it this month. Doesn't matter at all. It's what you do getting there. So it's working towards it. So I want you to put something on there that you are going to do for you. Some people have talked about, you know, I'm going to buy a bunch of flowers. I love flowers. I'm going to have them on my bench and I'm going to walk past them every day and appreciate myself for what I've done. So, you know, like it could be a massage, it could be a walk along a beach, it could be taking time out with one of your loved ones, whichever. So one item. Okay, now I want you to go to the column on the left-hand side, and I want you to number 1 to 10 going down the left-hand side. And now I want you to brainstorm. Michio had a meeting at 7, so she apologized, guys. She had to run. I want you to write all the different actions that you know that you need to take to get to that goal of growth of 2,500 extra in your business, plus the brand partners and the PCs and the reorders. So what are the items that you need to do? You know, following up, sampling, exposures, social media plans, your next pop-up. If you've got team members, how many pop-ups are they going to have? Anyone else got any other brainstorming ideas? It's just nice when everyone can. Looking at the trip volume, you know, what is a driver that you can do with your trip volume? What is something that you need to do for you personally? You know, is it going to make sure that you do yoga every day, that you walk, that you do some sort of exercise, that you eat well? You know, really like your health and the way that you build yourself inside also obviously has a big, big effect on how we actually show up. So what are those things that you know that you need to do that really allows you to show up as you, not as the saboteur, not as the judge? Okay, does anyone want to share some of their actions? Go for it, Tamara.
So one thing I don't do is make a plan. So I just get up in the morning and I just start working, but I have absolutely no direction. And I just start doing stuff and it leads to something else and it leads to something. I go down these rabbit holes. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, well, what did I do today? I spent all this time doing this and that, but I didn't like sit down with a set plan. And you guys have been talking about that for a few weeks now, like designate a certain couple hours to work on X and the other hour to work on Y. That is something I really, really need to do. I'm like ADD, my brain doesn't work like that. And I need to organize and have a plan. I think it would help me be more focused.
Yeah. And it's so much more than being more focused. It's knowing the things that you got to do that are going to create the most momentum to get to where you want to go. And you just have so much more success at things because you're not wasting time going from one thing to the next to the next. And look, I'm a very, very free-spirited person. I love winging life. I love it. I love it so much, but I'm on a mission. And I have responsibilities and things that I need to do. And I very easily can drift and go from one thing to the next to the next to the next. And so I've got a 10X, talking about Grant Cadane before, one of his diaries. And so I've started doing this, and I love it. And the day before, I plan my day. So I set my goals. Every single day I have, as you can see circled here, I have my goal, you know, what I need to do. I've got targets as well, what targets I need to get. And then the second half of the day, I come back and I write my successes. I write the things that I've done, that I've achieved. And then I also, at the end of the day, again, write my goals. And I'm just doing this. And every day, then on the other side, you can actually write the times of when things happen, but I don't use that. But every day I'm doing this, and every day I'm finding more and more time that I have, because I spend so much time going, but I've got to do this and I've got to do that, I've got to do this and I've got to do that. And it's crazy. Like it is incredible when you plan your the work that you need to do. And this map that we're just doing now, Tamara, you can do it in your normal business, in your traditional business as well. Just items that you need to do. What is the result that I'm looking for in the next 30 days? What's the reason behind it? What are the actions that I need to take? And you can have like 6 of these, one for the family, one for your work, and you can spend just a bit of time. You can see that it's taken us, half an hour for me to actually show you how to do it. You can nut these out really quick when you get used to doing them. And then now what we're going to do is that in that action list that you've done on the left-hand side, I want you to circle 2 or 3 of those items that are going to create the most momentum to get to your goal. Because what happens is that when we build to-do lists, they become, let me just pick my favorite things off the to-do list to do. And then also let me pick the quickest things off the to-do list to do, because they're the items that I can just quickly get off the to-do list that I'm also filling up the to-do list every single day. And are they really getting me the most momentum to get me to my goal? Sometimes they are, sure. But you know what? Most times they're not. And so now when we can pick those items that are absolutes, you now know that they are the musts. You must get off this call and you must put them into action. When you put them into action, you know that that's going to churn the result towards the result that you want to get. The other items are really important as well. They're really important. They're not off the list. They are just a part of the list, but those circled items are musts. So would anyone love to share at least one of their musts?
Well, I'm kind of along the lines of Tamara here, where I have never, and I'm ashamed to say it, after over 4 years, I've never sat down and put a plan together. I've tried to, but one of the things that I really, really have learned today, all the way back through our regional last Saturday, was how important customer service is. And I went back and looked at my PCs, and I have a list this long of PCs that I need to go back and follow with. So that's going to be something that I think I really need to focus at, because if they were interested in one time, doesn't mean they're not interested now. It just means I haven't followed up right. So a few things that I thought were really important on my list here were, get myself a plan, which for me means that to-do list every day. And like you said, Rachel, don't just mark off the easy things. And I know in my head from enough personal training that one of the most important things is do the hard things first and get them out of the way, because the easy things are the ones we always do. And that doesn't get us to where we want to be. And so I need to make that list of activities as part of my plan, and then get really back into my customer service and my PC list and dig deep in there, because I have a feeling I'm leaving a whole lot of money on the table.
Perfect. That's a great share. And it's not that they're an easy or a hard thing, but the thing is that action going to create momentum? Is it going to give you the most momentum to get to your action, to get to your goal? And you know what? When you've got a list of this many people that, like you said, they've bought before, for whatever reason they stopped, and now that you have some different skill set to go back and talk to them, like how cool is that?
Right. And I also realized too this weekend that to provide that customer service and to go back to those people before, one thing that I don't think I ever really focused on was I do really need to know every product. I mean, not perfectly, but I need to educate myself a little bit more on not just what discounts I can offer them, but what else those products can do for them. And I think I need that as part of the customer service thing too.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the things that I think is a really great tip for exactly what you're just saying there, Tammy, is go prospect, go watch all the videos.
Mm-hmm.
Be familiar with the videos. Like, the more that you can watch all the videos and know exactly what video that you want to send somebody, then the video is going to do the talking for you. But you can then pinpoint, hey, I'm talking to Jill and Jill's telling me A, B, and C, and I know just the solution because I know the videos.
Right.
I know the videos, and then send them.
Yeah. I mean, I know a few of the products, but there's still several that I'm not, you know, I don't know the probiotics because I don't take them.
Yeah.
You know, I need to kind of brush up on a few of those things. Know your product, you know, know what you got out there.
Yeah, good. Really good call. Really good call. So anyway, that's the go. That is that you've got a plan in front of you. You've got a plan. I've shown you how to reverse engineer what it is that you're going for. What's the gap? Where you stand and how we're going to close that gap. You know, trial and error. Don't think that, you know, oh, I'm not sure if I should do that. Just go give it a go. Give it a go. If it means that, you know, you had 3 pop-ups last month, awesome. Do the 3 pop-ups. Look at the numbers in your group, and how can you increase those numbers? How can you make sure you're at least talking to another 15 different new people in that group, each of those 3 parties? You know, it doesn't have to be 3 parties that you're actually increasing, but you want to be talking to new people because you're still exposing the old people. But you want to be talking to new people all the time, taking people from not knowing about Neura to knowing about Neura. That's what we need to do. Does that help everyone? Does everyone feel like they've got something like solid to go and, you know, work with now for the rest of the month?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
So helpful the way that you break it down and make us write something. Like, that's the kind of direction and tasks that I need, because I won't think of them myself. Like, I need someone to tell me, write this down, write down 5 things, go do this task. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, amazing. And look, I think I'm the same. I work the same. I know I like hearing what other people are thinking because I'm not thinking that, you know, and I'm thinking only what my brain comes up with. That's why, you know, Jeff always talks, when you put 2 heads together, it creates the third. So, you know, it is really just so cool. But what I'm going to say is buddy up together. Buddy up as far as, you know, if it's reading a book together, if it's diving into each other's why, you know, and really exploring it and having a whole ton of fun. Like, you know, show me a picture of what it looks like to go and see the bears swimming in Florida, you know, like just, you know, dive into it and make it real. Like, but do you know what? They sent me a video. Pat sent me a video of a bear swimming in Florida, and now you know how much I want to go anyway. Now I really want to go because it's true. The bears do swim there. So it's, you know, he's making it real for me. He's making it real for me. And when you invest together in something like that, you make it real for each other. You know, like they send me about pictures of videos of is it called the blue? What's it called? The
Blue Angels.
Yeah, the planes that fly past them.
Blue Angels.
And how close they fly to the water, and I'm always like, wow, how cool is that? You know, that's where they live. So, you know, make things real for each other of what they're thinking about. But no, and it doesn't have to be, you know, their whole why and, you know, and people talk about, you know, your why has to make you cry. I'm not that sort of person. My why doesn't make me cry. My why energizes me like a crazy person. You know, and it doesn't make me cry. Everyone's different. Some people, it does make them cry. It's a really emotional thing. Mine is emotive as far as, like, you know, a bit of an energizer bunny. So, you know, invest in each other. Yeah, there you go. Go do Positive Intelligence. Go and do the saboteurs test. It's in the Brand Partners page, or go to www.positiveintelligence.com. And you know, like when I very first did this test, my scores were like, whoo, they were high. Next time I did the test, which was 6 years later, my scores are really low now. So I'm getting a grasp. I've got a grasp of how I, you know, use my brain, and how I allow most of my thoughts and decisions to come through that positive pathway. The 5 powers of SAGE, and practice it. Catch yourself out and practice it. You might have high numbers, you might have low numbers, whatever your numbers are. Look for the 2 saboteurs that are the highest numbers, and they are the 2 that are 2 or 3 that are going to be your accomplice to your self-judge. The self-judge is the universal. We all have it, and we're all very good at playing it out. So know it, name it, and tell it to get the heck out. Love you all. Love catching up with you all. Anything you need, please message me. Like, I love it when you guys message me, even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't quite answer yet. I'll answer. But I really do love it when you guys message me, because I love the connection that we have, you know, like it's beautiful, isn't it? It's global. Like, we're not, you know, this makes it real that you can build a team in another country because we hang out together, you know, and you guys have people in other countries that you know, that somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, or you know. And it doesn't have to be Australia, but this is the beauty of what we do. Anyway, guys, I'm going to love you all. I'm going to say thank you, and I will talk to you all later.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rach. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Tim.
Bye.
Bye.